and by that time people will keep on joining us. So let us start. Aarti ma'am, please.
I take immense pleasure in welcoming our moderator for the session, Ms. Shweta Singh, Program Director of Dr. Kalam India Foundation, founder of Economics Exclusive. Ma'am has done MA Economics from Delhi School of Economics, BA Economics from Hansraj College, BA from CIE. Ma'am has a rich experience of 20 plus years in the field of economics in school colleges of Delhi NCR. She's a coach and mentor for economics education for high school and undergraduate students. She's also a CBSE resource person, teacher trainer for teaching techniques and content enrichment. Ma'am is a learning designer and STEAM specialist for she offers curriculum designing with art integration. She has hosted panel discussion for students and teachers. Ma'am has received many prestigious awards, such as the Guru Upanishad Samman in 2020. Along with that, the Global Achiever Award for the Best Teacher in 2021. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Aarti. That was a longer than necessary introduction. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And we welcome everyone on this forum today. I would request everyone to please mute their mics.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Sukhchess, for all the participants. I want to speak today about the need for ecological education in school.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
I would want to introduce you first. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll come.
Thank you.
Because you obviously, of course, deserve an introduction first.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So welcome everyone to this forum by Dr. Kalam India Foundation. We are honored to have you here today. This is in continuation to a series of episodes on the conference for thinking skills which are required for New India and the new world that we see today. So what exactly is the importance of thinking in the new world? We all realize that it's extremely important, but all the different facets of it, the different implications, the applications of it all. And we have, as usual, we have an esteemed panel of guests over here present with us today. And our chief guest, the guest of honor, Dr. Sunil Kumar Modgil. And I welcome, sir. For those who are not familiar with him, Dr. Modgil is a multifaceted professional. He has over 3 decades of leadership experience with leadership training and development. He has had a stellar career as in the Indian Army, and he has handled several operations in the Indian Army, which are breathtaking in themselves. And now, as he's instructor of national repute in the fields of management. He offers training solutions, and he is kind enough to preside over our conference as guest of honor. I welcome you again, sir. Thank you so much for being here. With Mr. Dr. Modgil as guest of honor, we have a stellar presence of so many guests, panel of intellectuals who would enlighten us today with their ideas on thinking skills. And Ms. Ermina is one of them. Ms. Ermina, we welcome you. We welcome you from our deepest heart that you found time to be here on our panel. Ms. Ermina is from Romania. She's a teacher, she's an educational mentor, a speaker, and a coordinator of European and international projects. She's also an author of methodological and scientific work for optimization of school integration of students with special needs. Now, this is an extremely important topic, as we all realize, for inclusive education. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. And we would be honored to hear your views. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be with you today in this wonderful event. I will talk today about the need for ecological education in school, because we need education ecological. Nowadays, a large number of schools in Europe and even in Romania have introduced environmental education or ecological education as part of their curriculum. Does become a compulsory subject. Environmental education deals with study in nature, natural resources, and the relationship between people and the environment. As we begin to learn about the environment, we begin to become more responsible human beings. Ecological education aims to help children gain an understanding and sensitivity to the environment, learn about how the Earth works, the consequence of environmental degradation, and what is their role in preventing environmental problems. By acquiring a set of values, knowledge and feelings for the environment, children gain to motivation and skills needed to get involved in environmental project, program, and campaigns. Environmental issues such as selective waste collection and recycling air, water, soil pollution, deforestation, biodiversity loss, and more extremely sensitive issue even for adults. Today, for example, we are facing a global climate emergency because in every corner of the world, people have abused and continue to abuse, knowingly or unknowingly, the Earth's natural resource. Ecological education must begin in early childhood. This contributes to the formation of an ecological awareness and thinking about nature, but also to the formation of an attentive and correct behavior towards it. Simple information about the environment is not enough, but this is important for the student to be able to express personal ideas and show an attitude about the responsibility they take on the environment in which they live. They must be able to understand the relationship between certain situations and to analyze, synthesize, and generalize information. It's important to resolve the cause that lead to a certain situation and not its effect. Environmental education is a way of life, and its problem will not be solved only technical solution, but by a deep understanding of the connection between the human being, nature, living environment, and the individual common attitude towards these problems. Environmental education addresses both the minds and soul of the student. A special role is played by stimulating their interest and enthusiasm. The school plays a major role in environmental education because young people spend a lot of time here, and because it is a place where knowledge is transmitted and is meant to develop students' positive attitude towards environmental issue. Topic related to the environment and ecology can be combined with subjects such as mathematics, Romanian language, English language, French language, science, visual art, because it excites students, especially when class lectures tend to become boring. At a large age, any activity out of the daily routine excites children and involves them in the act of learning. Let's not forget that preschool and primary education, the concrete material attracts students and is the starting point in the assimilation of the knowledge. Ecological education can be achieved throughout any type of school activity, scientific, artistic, practical, sports, or religion activities. Specialists in education, theory, and practice define the teaching method as a way of action with which students, under the guidance of the teacher, acquire knowledge, develop skills, and take attitudes. Ecological education can be achieved through the three forms of education presented in the figure below. Formal education carried out in education units, informal education carried out through non-governmental organization, media, entourage, family, non-formal education achieved through extracurricular activities, lifelong learning centers, club. Ecological education is an education of action, solidarity, strategy for the transfer and evaluation of environmental education, act between these poles, observe, analyze, take action. The now must mean and to know how act, noticing, training in ecological deeds. Ecological education in school and be one school always evaluate the contribution of each one of the social groups in solving the serious problem regarding our planetary management, its state of order, resources, health. Ecological education constantly urges responsibility and solidarity, reflection and action. His satisfaction comes from initiative, passion, and action, responding to a planetary imperative. Environmental education is a complex, long-term process, not short. The future of life as the world depends on our thinking effort to maintain balance in nature by forming an independent ecological consciousness among humans. Thank you very much. Hugs from Romania. You have all my respect. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Helena African. It was a pleasure hearing you. And you, very importantly stressed the need for sensitization of our students, the need for strengthening of their emotional quotient as well as their adversity quotient, because all of that is needed to handle the living realities of today. An environment is the basis of it all. We cannot live in divorce of the environmental realities that we have today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would next call Dr. Sasi Kumar. Dr. Sasi Kumar, we are so glad to have you.
Yeah, fine, ma'am, and happy to see you through this virtual forum. And this COVID pandemic has made us to meet through this virtual connection. I am happy to see you, everyone, and I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Sudhakar Singh, President of Kalam Trust, and also this Program Director, Ms. Shweta Singh. And also I would like to thank Professor Hardeep Singh and also Professor Dr. Sunil Kumar Sir, Honorary Member of Kalam Trust. Thank you, sir. And also I would like to welcome from my institution, Professor Senthil Kumar Sir and other dignitaries. And also I would like to welcome other participants and teachers and speakers, and also my dear students. Welcome you all for this wonderful occasion. And let me share my screen before that.
Dr. Sasi Kumar is Assistant Professor in the Department of Commerce and Management in Vivekananda College, Tamil Nadu. He's joining us from South India. He has participated and presented several papers. He has 20 articles, more than 20 articles in national and international journals. So happy to have you here, sir. He's editor-in-chief of Journal of Innovation and Social Sciences. So a very, very important section of Dr. Kalam India Foundation. Thank you so much, sir. Let us straight away see to what Ms. Dr. Sasi Kumar has to say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your brief introduction. And whether the screen is...
It is visible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And at this juncture, we are going to have a session on this thinking skills for New India and the world. And today we are going with the journey among this COVID pandemic, and what sort of strategies even the government and the individuals, what sort of strategies they should employ in order to build the new nation and new country. In this aspect, we are going to discuss. And before that, I would like to have a few quotes from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. And he has had a Vision India 2020. We may be very much aware of that. And the nation is stepping towards that. And possibly we have succeeded in certain aspects as his wish. And also he view the nation with the corruption free. And we hope a better thing in future. And let us have an insight onto the challenges and opportunities for the world in this post-pandemic period. And certain points we would like to discuss. The first thing, it's economic impact. And we are very much aware that the GDP of even the developed countries, it has gone down. And the fund is being mostly contributed for medical equipments like buying of ventilators and personal protection equipments, and even for the drugs like COVID. Countries are investing huge amount in these aspects. And also the next point, that's trade. COVID has made us to travel through this digital media, that's e-commerce like Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, and even much more shoppers, e-retailers. They provide home deliveries to the individuals. And regarding the health, a lot of transformations in this medical sector. We may aware of that. Like even it includes online consultancy. We need not to meet the doctors, and we can have the discussions through online. And the medicines are being door delivered at their homes. And also we may feel the mental stress because of this COVID-19, and it also bring out that mental stress, and it's to be eradicated. And regarding this education, both primary and secondary education, it has come along with e-learning concepts. We may go the classes through online. And these TV channels and internet, they act as a communication platform between the education institutions, that's teachers and students. And regarding this information technology, and we rely much on this internet, these digital platforms, and we use this web-based conference. Even we use Google Meet today, and also some other applications like Zoom, Skype, etc. And also the home entertainment applications like Netflix and Disney, they has attracted 1 million subscribers throughout the world. And also the hospitals and even the defense sector, they use the robots and drones to manage this hazardous and pandemic situation. And regarding the tourism, and we are very much aware that the government has imposed some restrictions both in national and in international levels. And the hotels and resorts and other tourism related things remain inactive. And the local government, even the municipalities and other local bodies, they spare heavily more than because the budget exceeds because of several reasons like sanitary issues and other medical conditions. So they aspects. And finally, we discuss about the workplace. And after this COVID-19, the people are being permitted to work at open workspaces, and also through work from home culture. It's been inculcated even from the IT sector, and also to most of the service sectors. They are doing the work from home culture. And these travel agents, now they have disappeared a lot because there is no platform to have a travel throughout the world. Yes. And we will move on to the risk which is being faced by the most of the countries around the world. And we can categorize the risk into 4 main headings. The first one, that's environmental risk. So after this COVID outbreak, the government, both the local and national and central government, and also the countries, most of the developed and other countries, they have imposed lockdown. Due to this lockdown, most of the manufacturing outlets, they remain shut down. So because of this industries, the pollution, that's the emission of carbon, it has gone down to a great extent. And even we can find some positive impact in the ecosystem and also in the environment. And we can strictly follow this ISO 14000 guidelines, which can be found at this juncture. And the next one, it's infectious diseases. So due to certain weakness in the health system, and also due to the shortage of the medical equipments and other devices, certain countries are facing the spread of the infectious diseases. Now also recently we may read through these newspapers the outbreak of few infectious diseases. It also a threat to the environment and also to the world. And regarding the cyber security, cyber attacks and many threats, so due to this issues, most of the IT companies and the individuals, they are suffering a lot. Next one, the community resilience. So due to the vulnerability issues in many areas, so it has bring down that's reopening of this travel and the opening of retail outlets and also restaurants. It has been gone down drastically down. So these are the main headings under which the world countries are going to face the risk. And regard to India, what are the biggest challenges in near future? That's number one, the skill development and employment for the future workforce. So since the education, it has gone through online, we find certain difficulties and we find some lacuna in the learning methodology behind the students. And this is going to become a shortfall of the skilled workforce. So this is going to be a biggest threat for the countries. And the second one, socio-economic inclusion. So we are very much aware that the economy has gone down very much, and in India, about 60% of the share of the GDP, it's going to be contributed by the rural population. And because of this COVID pandemic, it also has gone down. So this Digital India programs, as we are very much aware, our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, he has bring out this concept even before. So it should be implemented in order to avoid this. And the next one, health and sustainable future. So the health issues due to pollution, it has gone down drastically due to this shutdown. And the non-communicable diseases like unhealthy these aspects, certain diseases are being spreaded before this COVID-19. But due to this awareness about the COVID-19, the people are becoming very much aware about their health system. And in near future also, they should be very much aware in order to reduce these issues. And in this slide, we can find the industries which have responded to the pandemic. So that's number one, that's healthcare sector. We are very much aware that healthcare sector, it's of playing a predominant role at this juncture. Even the people, doctors, nurses, and other people, they are struggling hard in order to save the lives of the human beings. And the next one, travel and tourism. Already, as we discussed, it's in a decline trend. And hospitality industry also has been gone down drastically. And the metro railways and the transport sector, so especially in India, due to this shutdown, it faced a heavy loss. That's a 90% of loss. It has been faced by the government. And also the Indian Railways, they also have suspended their operations after March, and they have resumed their operations by May 2020. So because of this, they faced a heavy loss of around 35,000 crores in Indian rupees. And next, education sector. So it's going through online, and the few people, that's standard 9 to 12, they have gone through offline classes. And because of this, only the 44% of the people are becoming job ready. Rest of them are going to lack their knowledge and other skills, which they are going to learn through this regular part of education. And the next, the street vendors. So in India, most of the people, they rely on the street vendors in order to buy their essential commodities. So due to this roaming around the streets, so they also, the street vendors, they are struggling and they undergo this starvation. And also this migrant workers, they also faced a lot of hurdles due to this situation. And the last one, internet. So in India, there is a higher. So for small statistical thing, increase in internet users during this pandemic, and around terabyte of the internet it's been used by the people in the March 2020 alone. Yeah. So here, so we can find the resources. Plenty of resources is available during this British invasion. Due to this being taken over by those people, and also due to the further colonialism, we have lost plenty of resources. Yet we are finding n number of entrepreneurs arising out of the situation. So we are gifted enough to find this thing. Also, in India is having a plenty of natural resources, including water resources, and we are efficiently using this hydroelectric power and other renewable resources. So it's a biggest opportunity for India in near future. And also our central government has imposed certain guidelines regarding the usage of the electric vehicles in order to be a substitute for this petroleum product. And this we are very much aware, the major sector to be concentrated, that's the production sector, service sector, and the agriculture sector. And we can find how the employability among the students, it's gone down over the years for the past 5 to 6 years. So we can find incline in certain years, like in 2008 and 2018 and 19, and we can find a slow decline by the year 2020 and 2021 because of this educational reforms. Due to this digital learning, it has gone down. Yes, so here we can find what are the sectors they have hired the people, and majority we can find the people are being more employed in sector. And the next thing, it goes to the logistics sector. So rest of the other sector have a decline over the recruitment from 2019 to 2021. And in this slide, we can find the states which are having more recruitment, and in terms of salary package, we can find the states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Maharashtra. They have a higher percentage of salary. So it has been categorized into 3 headings. That's below 2 lakhs, between 2 to 2.5 lakhs, and above 2.6 lakhs. And also this NCR Delhi plays a predominant role in terms of highest package. Yeah. So in this slide, it gives a preview about the Indian government. They also emphasis about the vision, that's 2020-30. So in the Union Budget 2019 itself, they have given some protocol regarding that, and the major points that like infrastructure, startup promotion, and pollution-free country, and rural industrialization, and also this micro irrigation techniques. So these are being given more emphasis, and it has been inculcated in the budget also in order to improve these aspects. So certainly our nation is going to be grown in near future. And this we have already discussed. That is a gap. That's a gap between the talent demand and supply, especially in India and also in certain other countries. So the employability position across India, it has gone down because of the lack of skill set among the students. And the business, it's gone automation nowadays. They are purchasing many softwares and other digital media in order to promote their business. So we rely more on the technology nowadays. Yeah. And more number of entrepreneurs, they have gone their business from traditional brick and mortar system to online system, and also the education and the software business and the IT business, it has again got a bloom up. And here we can find certain tips to recover from this COVID crisis. And first of all, we can adapt this digitalization. So we can use this digital techniques and methods in order to avoid the movement of people from across the state and across the nations. And also this migration of people, it can be avoided for certain years, like 2 or 5 years. So this will certainly reduce the spread of COVID-19. And also we must very much follow the strict rules and regulations regarding the reduction of pollution. So it's the biggest threat to India and around the world, and it should be highly concentrated. And the resources utilization, it should be made in an optimal manner. That's the natural resources, that's non-renewable resources. It should be used at an reduced rate or an optimal rate. And next thing, we have to build a good communication network between the people, between the country and between the world. It's going to bring out the best output in the near future. And regarding the students' part, they have to inculcate certain attitudes, like they have to bring out some innovative concepts with their mind, new ideas, novel methods. This would attract the corporate companies to recruit them. And the students, they should have a habit of bringing this entrepreneurial skills. They have to start up a new business in the future. And strong communication skills, they should improve. And capacity building, they should enrich their knowledge and skills in all aspects. And also they have to build their soft skills. It's very essential at this corporate world. And they should provide and they should inculcate a positive health, that's emotional and mental health. It's very necessary at this juncture. And also they should give more emphasis on teamwork and critical thinking. So these sort of attitudinal aspects, it will bring and employable, and also it's going to develop our nation as a number one and a strong developed nation in the near future. So I would like to thank everyone for their patient listening throughout the session, and I would like to extend my gratitude to Kalam Trust for providing me an opportunity to express my insights about this topic.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sasikumar. And Dr. Sasikumar touched a raw nerve when he said that the employability is reducing. And the pandemic has only accelerated it, in fact. The employability of people the requirement has been reducing since the AI revolution took over the world. And therein comes in the importance of thinking skills, because that would make people not ready to be employed, but ready to employ, start their own enterprises, start their own initiatives, and become employers and not just queue up as employees, potential employees. Thank you so much, Dr. Sasikumar, for your opinions and perspectives. Thank you very much. And now I would introduce Ms. Aishwarya Sinha. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Ms. Aishwarya? Ms. Aishwarya?
Just give me a minute, ma'am. I'll switch on my camera.
Sure,
Yeah.
Ms. Aishwarya is head of the Department for Senior Secondary Classes in Aditya Birla Public School in Madhya Pradesh. She is a very dynamic educator. She has been recognized by GETI as the live Facebook speaker and has participated in various activities, educationist activities. And before entering into education, she's had a small stint as a corporate player too. She has worked as an anchor in the national television of India and has been facilitated with the Women of India Award at the Delhi Center. She's been a winner at various talk shows and events and has represented her state in several festivals and events. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a nice introduction, and a warm greetings to everyone present here. when I was asked to speak today, the first thing that came into my mind that when we are talking about new India, why not to involve the three genders that God has gifted us? We two are together and we stand strong as two pillars. But the third one, which is a leftover, neglected one, with an open heart, I request all, not only in India but worldwide, to let's invite the third gender to make a unique India, because they are the one who have taken almost 15% of our population. Now they're increasing due to whatever may be the health reasons, because they are the productivity of health reasons. So they have increased up to 15% by 2019. The survey says that now they are 15%. So why not to involve those 15% who are very strong and put them into fields like education, and more especially in army, because that is a field there where we don't need emotion, and they are the one who are like coconut, filled with emotion from inside, but very strong to take a decision at random. So hardly there are 3% of such people who are in various fields and professions, and they are not accepted till now. We have various examples from West Bengal, from Maharashtra, where these people have reached to eminent post, but they are not yet accepted there. So when I talk of a new India with a thinking skill, a new thinking skill, the first thing that come to my mind, that any building, any strong pillar stand with four things, four pillars. We two genders are the true strongest pillar, and third one can be another one, and the fourth one, the unity. The unity among these three will be the fourth pillar to make a new India. I have tried to bring my project in front of many, but when we talk about impact of people, impact of talking to them in not only in India but worldwide, we have always seen these people with negligence and embarrassment. Even today, when I travel in train, or I get an opportunity to travel in train, I have seen them. They are quite knowledgeable. It's not so they are not educated, but they are quite knowledgeable. They give us such experiences, which such ideas which we cannot think of, but we have a power to implement it. So let's join hand to bring all the creations of God together to make a strong India with a new thinking and new way of bringing this India. Today, I will just end up with this much, requesting everyone, let's join hand. When we think of new India, when we think of thinking skills, let's put up a step ahead. Let's take our step ahead to change the thinking of common people, to change the thinking of each and everyone, because it's education only, and the field of education only, where we can motivate them to accept the things that are different. When we reward the difference, we need to accept the difference also. Difference can be anything. Difference can be appearance. Difference can be thinking. Difference can be God's grace also. And that is what it is. They are God's grace with a difference. Let's accept them. When we are accepting new things, why not to accept them and make them join this new era of new India? With this, I end up. Thank you so much giving me this opportunity to express my emotions and be a part of such a strong community. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
so
Sunil,
much,
sir.
ma'am.
This is really a pleasure to be and share with this platform with such strong people. Thank you.
ऐश्वर्या मैम, दिल मांगे मोर. आप मैं चाहूंगा आप और भी ज्यादा कनेक्टेड हो डॉक्टर कलाम इंडिया से एंड कंट्रीब्यूट टुवर्ड्स इट्स मिशन एंड विजन. So we need your support, kind support, and every support, ma'am.
I'm always there. I'm always there to change my India. I can do anything. anytime, at any moment. 24 into
That's
7,
great.
365.
That's great, ma'am. That's great. As Brigadier Dr. Sunil Kumar sir is always with us, you know, so he goes
Yes.
at any out of his way for contributing to this the growth of this platform, ma'am. So grateful to him, and yeah, please, ma'am, Sweta, ma'am, please. Sanjay sir,
No, please continue, sir. Okay. Thank you, ma'am, so much for considering us to be the platform where you could share your views, because this was a very important aspect of that India should be looking at. Thank you for expressing your views over our platform, for joining hands, and it's a call out for all of us to join hands to change the way we think and perceive. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
is the
sir.
time for hope. And
Sorry.
Yes, of course, sir.
Before we move forward, a very beautiful point has been brought by Aishwarya Sinha ma'am. So let me add a few words to it, because it's a great point. Yeah. And it's also on the thinking side, and part of the major objective of thinking skills. You know, my belief is whenever something of this nature, the ideas comes in the environment, the 3 C's plays a very important role. The first C is the conflict. There's a conflict among ourselves. Shall we or we shall not? We shall not. Yes or no? That conflict is I always take it. Conflict is a growth industry. Strange but true. The world needs more conflict, not less. But why? Because conflict often leads to generate insight. So when you have different ideas, I have different ideas, that is how the new sides will come up. Your ideas and my ideas have to be different. The second C, communication, is my perception. You see 9 in the center as 6, I see 9. So we are built up with different set of environments and education and whatever is there. So that is how you and me, our signs don't match, our thumb impression don't match. We are different people. So let there be more conflict, which will generate more insight to find out answers, how that additional pillars can be part and parcel of the growth. And thank you. I thought, and the third C, if I say, you also brought it out, the collaboration. The answers to conflict is only by collaboration. Nobody can live on the islands. If you may have money beyond Mukesh Ambani and give you island to live, you'll say, no, I don't need anything. You put me back into collaboration with some setup. So, collaboration is the one which is going to give you answers for all the conflict which come up. And God willing, the pillar you are trying to tell, I think there are more and more community in the world are adding to it. And mostly saying yes than saying no. I'm sure in the days to come, more yeses are going to be there. Thank you, ma'am. Beautiful idea you brought it out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your very apt words. And cheers to more yeses. And on that note of hope, I would, this is a very good time to invite Dr. Sanjay Tiwari. Dr. Sanjay Tiwari is here with us. He is head of the Department, Commerce Department in Deep Memorial Public School, Ghaziabad, India. And he's a renowned academic for over 22 years. But today, he is here as a representative of the Art, Culture and Heritage Wing of Dr. Kalam India Foundation. So I would request Dr. Sanjay Tiwari to enrich us. He is here today to add his welcome, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Good evening to all of the experts here. And it's my honor that I am the part of this prestigious conference today. So I am thankful to Kalam India Foundation. I again thanks to Sunil sir, Brigadier Sunil sir, for his guidance. Aishwarya Sinha ma'am, Dr. K. Shashi and other who joined. Dr. K. Shashi has enlightened us with lots of economic things like how the economy will be improved, how it has gone down due to pandemic. Aishwarya ma'am has raised the issue of third gender. So ma'am, in the area, I think in my knowledge, acceptance is there, not up to the great extent, but acceptance is there because some of them have become leader also, councillors, etc. I know whatever my knowledge goes, but certainly your point is valid that acceptance must be there for those third gender persons also. And thank you to Sudhakar Singh ji for inviting me in such a prestigious conference. Thanks to ma'am from Romania, I think Irmina Oprikan ma'am, thank you ma'am for joining. Thanks, and you have also spoken and enlightened us. The today's topic is thinking skill. What I think that thinking leads to the implementation of your thoughts, ideas, and dreams. I will say that I joined my teaching in 97 as PGT Commerce, then I became HOD Commerce, and I am doing my job, but I at some times singing was also in my mind also. So I thought about it. तो थिंकिंग गई मेरी कहीं उसकी तरफ, मैंने सोचा उसकी तरफ, और जब सोचा तो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया, और फ्रॉम लास्ट 6 to 7 years I started my career as a professional singer also. With God's blessing, apart from my teaching, I am doing my teaching, but I am doing my professional singing also and doing the stage shows also. So it's the blessing of the God that I am teaching accountancy to 11th, 12th and singing also. Sudhakar sir has invited me, and for Sudhakar sir I will say that he is a very dynamic and versatile personality. Now, whatever I know about him, he is a very dynamic and versatile personality. He told me to sing few songs. Today I will try to entertain you by 2 songs, one for Kishore Da and one for Kumar Sanu. So I hope, I don't know what will be the sound effect online, but I will try my best to entertain you.
Yeah, sorry. Our guests from abroad, the music doesn't have boundaries. So the song may be in our local language, but you'll be able to enjoy it the way it is going to be sung by Sanjay ji. Yes, Sanjay ji, please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello. दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना। देखो कहीं आना टुकड़ा न देना मेरा नजराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना। आज का दिन है इतना सुहाना, झूम रहा प्यार मेरा, पूरी हंसी की सारी मुरादें, खुश रहे यार मेरा। हो जब का जीवन साथी मुबारक, जीवन में आना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना। अपने भी हैं कुछ ख्वाब अधूरे, कौन अब गिनेगी तुम्हें, सच तो यह है मेरे दोस्त के सपने भी है मेरे तुम्हें, हो उसकी खुशी अब मेरी खुशी है दिल दीवाना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना। देखो कहीं टुकड़ा न देना मेरा नजराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना, दीवाना लेके आया है दिल का तराना। थैंक यू, शुक्रिया सभी का। तो ये किशोर कुमार साहब का एक गीत था। आई होप आवाज ठीक आ रही होगी।
ठीक आ रही है सर, ठीक आ रही है, कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है।
थैंक यू सुधाकर जी। अब एक देखिए कुमार सानू का बहुत ही हिट सॉन्ग 1989 का, जो जिसने कुमार सानू साहब को स्टार बना दिया, उस फिल्म का गीत आपको सुना रहा हूँ। मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी हर खुशी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी हर खुशी है, तू ही प्यार तू ही चाहत तू ही आशिकी है, तू मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी हर खुशी है।
पहली मोहब्बत का एहसास है तू, पहली मोहब्बत का एहसास है तू, बुझके जो बुझ ना पाई वो प्यास है तू ही मेरी पहली ख्वाहिश, तू ही आखिरी है, मेरी जिंदगी है, मेरी हर खुशी है। हर जख्म दिल का तुझे दिल से हुआ दे, हर जख्म दिल का तुझे दिल से हुआ दे, खुशियाँ तुझे गम सारे मुझको खुदा दे, तुझको भुला ना पाया मेरी बेबसी है, मेरी जिंदगी है, मेरी हर खुशी है। मेरी जिंदगी है, मेरी हर खुशी है, तू ही प्यार, तू ही चाहत, तू ही आशिकी है, मेरी जिंदगी है, मेरी हर खुशी है। थैंक यू, शुक्रिया।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप लोगों का।
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया। ये ऑनलाइन में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, लेकिन ब्यूटीफुल संग सर, और जबरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस, जबरदस्त रहा। बिल्कुल
ऑनलाइन का सर थोड़ा सा नेटवर्क की वजह से थोड़ा सा होता है डिस्बैलेंस।
जी जी जी,
स्टेज और ऑनलाइन में ही डिफरेंस है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सभी का बहुत धन्यवाद जिन्होंने मुझे सुना।
संजय जी बहुत अच्छा था, आपका तो कॉम्प्लीमेंट इवन अरमिना मैम ने भेजा है, चैट पे पढ़िए। शी कॉम्प्लीमेंटेड यू, योर वॉइस एंड द म्यूजिक। यस, ऑफ कोर्स अदर्स हैव आल्सो डन इट, बट या आई एम जस्ट ब्रिंगिंग हर नेम इन बिटवीन।
संजय सर को बड़े बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे बुलाया जाता है सर, एंड ही इज अ पेड प्रोफेशनल सिंगर। तो ये तो हमारी जो है, बल्कि इट इज आवर ऑनर एंड प्रिविलेज कि उनका काइंड कंसेंट मिला और उन्होंने हामी भरी। तो इनका परफॉर्मेंस मैंने सर का लाइव देखा है, और जब आप लाइव देखेंगे तो झूम जाएंगे। बिल्कुल, मैं खुद ही झूम चुका हूँ इनके संगीत पे। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, और शब्द नहीं है आपको धन्यवाद कहने के लिए।
तो आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने मुझे इस लायक समझा। और सुनील सर, बस मैंने कहा ना कि थिंकिंग मेक्स इम्प्लीमेंटेशन। टीचिंग करते करते जो दिल में एक सिंगर था बचपन से, वो कहीं ना कहीं 6-7 साल पहले उभर कर आया, एंड नाउ आई बिकेम द प्रोफेशनल सिंगर आल्सो विद माय टीचिंग आल्सो।
Excellent, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Following one's passion is so important in life, and you have been doing two very, very demanding things at the same time. Hats off to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. बस मैं यही एक सलाह सबको दूंगा कि हम टीचर हैं, ठीक है, हम अपना काम कर रहे हैं, बट हमें अपना पैशन भी पूरा करने के लिए जरूर कहीं ना कहीं से एक रास्ते खोजने चाहिए, जरूर कहीं ना कहीं से। क्योंकि टीचिंग तो हम अपनी बहुत ही पैशन के साथ कर ही रहे हैं, जो हम कर रहे हैं। मान लीजिए मैं 23 साल से कर रहा हूँ, तो आई एम डूइंग माय वर्क, बट जो मेरा पैशन अगर उसको पूरा नहीं करूंगा तो शायद लगेगा कि मैंने कहीं ना कहीं कुछ कमी रह गई लाइफ में। तो मैं यही सलाह देता हूँ सबको कि जो भी है जिसके अंदर जरूर पूरा करने की कोशिश करें, ये मेरी सजेशन है।
Absolutely, sir.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Very interestingly, the song that Sanjay ji chose, for those who could not gather the words, they might be some might be our friends from South India who could not get the language, or some international guests. I would give a slight the interesting part of it. He chose a song which said that regarding someone, that he is my life, he is my desire, he is my passion. Now, taking it out of the romantic context, it might just be exactly what he's trying to say after it. We all need to find that one thing, which is our passion, our desire, our life, our ikigai, as the Japanese would call it. And that would drive us, that would drive our life. So exactly what he said after he sung, it was a kind of complementarity. It had a complementarity with what he was singing. So thank you so much, Sanjay ji.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू मैम। बस एक बात और कहूँगा कि मतलब कई बार क्या होता है, बीइंग ए टीचर, कई बार ये कहा जाता है, जैसे हमारी एक फ्रेंड है, उन्होंने कुछ यूट्यूब पर किया तो उनको कमेंट्स आए नेगेटिव कि आप टीचर हो के क्या करो। तो मैंने उनको कहा, नो, डोंट बी इन डिप्रेशन, यू गो अहेड। टीचिंग हम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर हमारे अंदर कोई पैशन है, क्रिएटिविटी, तो अगर हम उसको करेंगे तो सोसाइटी उसको बुरा क्यों मान रही है? वी कैन डू इट, इट्स ए आर्ट एंड कल्चर।
Absolutely, absolutely.
वो बहुत डिप्रेस थी, तो मैंने उनको कहा, डोंट वरी अबाउट दिस पीपल, दे आर डिप्रेस्ड, यू आर नॉट डिप्रेस्ड, दे आर डिप्रेस्ड, दैट्स व्हाई दे आर सेइंग।
Absolutely, sir. So taking the program forward, we had Ms. Asma Mustafa. Is she still there with us? She was having a network problem, so we thought of calling in her first. Is she there, Ms. Asma Mustafa? No. Okay, so
no, she's not here. She's not here right now.
Right, sir. So we'll call her as soon as she is. Maybe there is a network problem recurring. Okay, thank you. So, Dr. Neha Dubey, thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Dr. Neha, assistant professor, is in Sagar Institute of Research Technology from Bhopal. She's joining us from Bhopal. She is an MBA with specialization in finance and retail, and she has published more than 10 research papers in various national and international journals, participated in various conferences of management, taken part in many online courses also, as well, this proves that all of us educators are very high on dynamism. We never lose an opportunity to take advantage of whatever situations we are in. So I welcome Neha ma'am here.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, Neha ma'am. Please enrich us. Yes, of course, ma'am. Clearly.
So good evening, all the dignitaries present over here. And first of all, I would like to pay my thanks to Professor Hardeep Singh sir, and of course Sudhakar sir, who invites me to present my opinion on the thinking for development of the new India, and as well as for the world. And today, as I know about that, many of the students are there, but of course there are the academicians. So I have prepared one short PPT, and I'm not going to discuss any strategies or any particular criteria, industry and the service sector for the development purpose. I just wanted to the titled base theme and the concept, that is the thinking. Actually, we are always running behind. We have to think for this, for the development of the country, for the development of the society, and youth, of course, has to be come in front to taking forward our society so that the development can be possible. But actually, I just through my PPT, I just wanted to give the thought to my students as well as all the persons of our country and world. Actually, what we have to think. First, we have to know that what we have to think, and after thinking, what we have to implement. because without the as the Sanjay sir said, we have to follow certain passion. But why we are following that passion? Because we wanted to sort it out. We have to enjoy our life. So I just need some seconds to share my screen. Okay, is my screen is visible to everyone?
It's visible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So today I'm going to present my opinion, we can say, through the PPT, and so that my words can be written in that PPT. And my topic of presentation is Think Different and Become Different. It is mostly focused on the students. And I, Dr. Neha Dubey, Assistant Professor at the Saga Group of Institute in the Department of MBA, Bhopal, going to present the things. This is one short quote, and it is, of course, written by me only. The new ways of thinking will create the path of innovation. So, what kind of a new skills or new ways or the thinking we are talking about? First, we need to understand thinking. Thinking means what? Actually, what is the thinking? थिंकिंग मेरे हिसाब से यदि मैं आपको इस हिंदी लैंग्वेज में यदि समझाऊं, बिकॉज मैं हिंदी लैंग्वेज इसलिए यूज कर रही हूँ फॉर डिफाइनिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर टर्म, बिकॉज हिंदी से जो है हम कनेक्शन थोड़ा सा डेवलप कर सकते हैं. क्या ये क्या जो वर्ड है इसे हमें जो डिफाइन करना है, दैट इज ओनली द थिंकिंग. आपने अक्सर वी ऑलरेडी गोज थ्रू आवर डेली लाइफ दैट इफ वी हैव अ सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन इन आवर माइंड, so by after diversion or following any kind of a media for the entertainment, but the question which left in our mind, until and unless we are not having the answer of that question, we are not feeling very much calm. ये सभी के साथ में होता है. जब तक हमारे दिमाग में जो भी कुछ चल रहा है, हो सकता है कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, हो सकता है कुछ भी चीज है, जब तक हमारे पास में इसका सोल्यूशन नहीं आता है, हम कितना भी अपने माइंड को डाइवर्ट कर ले, कितना भी योगा कर ले, मेडिटेशन कर ले, म्यूजिक सुन ले, एंड व्हाटएवर वी कैन डन, बट हमारा माइंड अल्टीमेटली वहीं पर पहुंचता है. एक्चुअली दैट काइंड ऑफ पैशन is required to everyone for thinking differently. Yeah, the something thinking is a much more than that what we think it is. It is today's rapidly changing the world. It is a more critical than ever. For children living in an age where the mundane will get immediately replaced by the robots and the machines, as we are all feel in our family, our kids are easily bored with the different kind of activities doing in a during pandemic or during the lockdown phase. But why they get bored? It's so easily they get bored, but we are not get bored because we have the thought process, but child don't have that kind of a thought process. For the 21st century workforce, the things we could not have imagined are a necessity, and the things we could not have lived without are already eliminated. Thus, change serves as the only constant. Now, learning good thinking, is it possible? Actually, we know that we have to follow our biographical cycle for our survival. But we can say that most of the talent or most of the things are inherently or by the grace of God we get from the childhood. But the thinking is we can develop in the good environment with our parents, with our friends, with our colleagues, or the environment which we are living. But how we can do this? It is done with encourage or talk to, navigate and know about with the or discuss with the children. Building the curiosity in the children is equally critical. I'm talking about the children because the purpose of the taking the children education and the development is from the childhood stage only, because thinking or the solutions of any problem or the we are talking about the two types of a thinking, that is the critical or the creative thinking. Now I am focusing only on the critical thinking. So it is not like that कि हमने एक चुटकी बजाई and we have found out the solution. No, we have to prepare our child as so that they can find it out after certain years in a quick answers of any problem. So parents can adopt as a way of life is to ask open-ended questions, brainstorming ideas with the children and teaching them how to prioritize. Because हमने देखा है छोटे छोटे बच्चे जो हैं बहुत सारी क्वेरीज करते हैं और हम इरिटेट होकर उनसे बोल देते हैं अच्छा शांत रहो हमसे बात नहीं करो. What type of stupid questions you are asking? Actually, that stupid questions have the new thinking, and that will be the new India in our coming years. Providing opportunities for a gadget-free play out without worrying about the mess. हम क्या करते हैं, हम इरिटेशन से बचने के लिए बच्चों को फोन पकड़ा देते हैं, वीडियो गेम दे देते हैं. तो उससे क्या होता है, थोड़ी देर के लिए तो शांति हो जाती है, बट फिर क्या होता है, हमारा ब्रेन की फंक्शनिंग नहीं उतनी काम करती है बिकॉज वी आर अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ गैजेट्स. सो वी हैव टू वर्क on the gadget-free environment. Other fun activities could be solving riddles and the puzzles, making models, etc., while not over helping in school work. Here is the one image in which the title is given as "Child who thinks will be an adult who prosper and sails through the life." जो बच्चा बचपन से ही सोचना, solutions find out करना शुरू करेगा या चीजों के बारे में सोचेगा, वो आगे चलकर ही अपनी लाइफ को रन कर पाएगा सक्सेसफुली. As we are aware about the Bloom taxonomy, many of the academicians given the very wide aspect of the Bloom taxonomy, but I am just giving the very summarized way of that. Bloom taxonomy and the critical thinking, it is just given by the Bloom's author for identifying the students the process of a thinking. Means he has given a certain chart, or we can say the hierarchy, where the students find it out the problem identification to until the feedback and the refinement of the solutions. So in that we have gone through the things. Here are the certain goals of the Bloom's taxonomy, that is plan and deliver the appropriate instructions, design valid assessment tasks and strategies, and ensure that instructions and assessment are aligned with the objectives. Here are the two taxonomy I have taken, that is the Bloom taxonomy. It is the as initial taxonomy in which the certain things are rearranged in a revised form, which is given in the 2001 year. Here the creating thing is what we are initializing, then evaluation, then analyzing the thing, how to apply it, how to understand it, and the remembering thing. Now in the NAAC format, you have means all the institute has to be accreditations required of a NAAC, and in which this Bloom's taxonomy came part. Means the students have to be identified on these bases. The certain chapters or unit which are comes into the category of which kind of a hierarchy label of a Bloom's taxonomy, and students are able to understand whatever the things. So this also taken place in that. Now the innovative thinking skills. What is innovative? We have talking about the thinking, which we need to be development of the thoughts, the concept of thoughts. Now innovation, the thinking automatically moved in a right direction, so it may become a innovations. Before sharing this, I have one video also. Just a second. The video is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
It is without audio, ma'am. You got to
Okay, audio is
click
not there.
audio.
Actually, it's just a music. I think there is a problem.
Okay.
Oh, hopefully, the video has been visualized by everyone, because maybe sound is not there, but it's just a music. I just wanted to see the concept behind the wool, how wool comes into the picture. So how the main things to adopt the things. So this is what the innovation where we are talking about, means the thinking comes and the necessity. As we know, avashyakta hi avishkar ki janani hai. Necessity is the invention. So what we are taking is the thought need to be converted into the innovation, but basically we need to develop the thoughts. Again, sharing my presentation, because the presentation is still remain. So now the innovation thinking skills. Innovation, as we know, the thinking is broadly two types of thinking is there, the creative as well as the critical. So innovative thinking is a highly valued skill in today's workplace. Those with the ability to think creatively to provide solutions to business process are sought by the employers. As the Shashi sir maybe said that the employability ratio is decreasing as the years goes on. But why the employability ratio is decreasing? Because employers need the solutions, not only the problem. one person came with the problem and the other person came with the problem as well as this may be the solution. So employer entertain the second one, because the problem means that every individual has a certain problems, but what kind of a solutions they require. So employers need this. And still in a current scenario, the youth and the everyone they are not focusing on the solution. They just pointed out ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ये नहीं है, but जो है वो उसको कैसे आप यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं. So the nurturing skills like the critical thinking and creativity can help you grow your innovative thinking capabilities and bring new ideas into your workplace. Now, the innovative thinking is a creative thought process used to generate ideas and the solution. It is a complex task that involves finding new methods to approach problems or procedures. In workplace, we can say that ways to think differently to produce better business practices for both employees as well as for the customers. Here are the certain examples, or we can say the types of innovative thinking skills. That is creativity, how we differently present in front of customers or in front of anyone, so that the customers and the anyone can be attracted with our solutions. Originality, the authentication should be there. Problem solving attitude should be there. Critical thinking, the critical thinking is that we have to deliberately think not only the present scenario, but of course if I am giving the certain solutions to any problem, but it is not only applicable for the present scenario, it has the future implications also. And the curiosity, everyone has the curiosity nature. How to improve the innovative thinking skills? Here are the diagram. The vision should be there. Nurture your creativity. आपकी जो भी skills है, आपकी जो भी thoughts आती हैं, please nurture it, please grow it. Learn to use failure. Every learning can be done with the help of failure, not with the success, because failures give us the lesson. What kind of a failures or what kind of a mistakes we didn't has to be done, but what kind of a if we are reading only the success stories or only the success part of the anyone, so we learn we cannot able to learn the failures things कि हमें mistakes क्या नहीं करनी चाहिए थी. कंसीडर द एवरी आइडिया. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर चीज का हमेशा तुरंत ही आइडिया मिल जाए. कई बार होता है हम कुछ कर रहे होते हैं और हमारी बैक ऑफ द माइंड कुछ और प्रॉब्लम भी रहती है और सडनली हमें आइडिया आता है. तो हम क्या करें, यदि हमें ऐसा कुछ डिफरेंट और इनोवेटिव थिंग्स लग रही है, वी हैव टू नोट इट डाउन सो दैट वी कैन कंसीडर इट इन अ फर्दर टाइम. Widen your knowledge base. Read as many as possible through the Google, through the good books, through the magazines, through the newspapers, and whatever the things are available, because there is the no limitation of the knowledge. And recognize the innovations. What kind of innovation? जरूरी नहीं है कि बहुत ही बड़ा हो तभी वो इनोवेशन कहलाता है. नहीं, हम ये नहीं कह सकते हैं. आपने देखा है अभी जब से मोदी जी आए हुए हैं, इन्होंने एक बहुत छोटी सी चीज को पकड़ा हुआ है इंडिया में, क्लीनलीनेस का. तब हमको भी लग रहा था अरे ये क्या सिर दर्द आ गया है कि भाई गीला कचरा अलग करना है, सूखा कचरा अलग करना, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. इवन हम जो हैं या फिर जो भी, मतलब हर किसी ने इस पे ऑब्जेक्ट किया था. स्टार्टिंग में बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती थी. नाउ एवरीवन इज यूज्ड टू इट. और इसी की वजह से जो पैंडेमिक आया हुआ है, जो बहुत ज्यादा जो वाइटल हो सकता था उतना नहीं हुआ, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. और जो अदर डिसीजेस में जो हमारा कंट्रोल किया है या पॉसिबल हो पाया है, इसमें इसका भी बहुत बड़ा रोल है. सो इट इज व्हाट, इट इज द काइंड ऑफ इनोवेशन. उन्होंने आदत डाल दी है. पहले स्ट्रिक्ट रूल लाया, देन उसके बाद में पहले वो एक आइडिया दिया, आइडिया लोगों ने नहीं समझ आया, फिर उन्होंने रूल लाया, सबको यूज करना पड़ा और अब सबकी हैबिट हो गई है. दिस विल बी द गुड थिंग. नाउ इनोवेटिव थिंकिंग एट अ वर्क. Be the first to provide a solution. कई बार होता है हमारे बॉस हमसे कुछ क्वेश्चन, मतलब कुछ एक प्रॉब्लम पे डिस्कशन चल रहा है कि नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स आर देयर एंड वी हैव टू कॉम्पीट विद द अदर एंड वी हैव टू लॉन्च आवर प्रोडक्ट एट राइट नाउ. सो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, हमारे पास में सोल्यूशन है, हमें लग रहा है अरे यार स्टूपिड सा है, हम बोलेंगे अभी सब हंसने लगेंगे, है ना. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस, बट गॉड नोज मे बी दैट वुड बी द बेस्ट सोल्यूशन. So always try to convey the solutions of the problem. Write down new ideas, act on your new ideas, share innovative ideas with the management, learn and incorporate new skills. Here I have taken the one slide, that is the I have taken the thinking skills and innovative skills. But what can be the bridge in between this? Means how thinking can be converted into the innovation. Is there any kind of a thing available? Maybe the something from the ancient education system. This may be the hint. Maybe from the Gurukul. What is Gurukul? So let's find it out. Actually, I have taken the Gurukul education system. I'm not saying that the Gurukul education system is a very good and I'm supporting that. No, I'm taking the very some important things and some important aspects are there and which we need to inculcate in our present education system for the development of our child. The main focus of the Gurukul was on imparting learning to the student in a natural surrounding where the Sishyas lived with each other with the brotherhood, humanity, love and discipline. You have seen that natural surrounding which we are आज की डेट में हम क्या कर रहे हैं, जब से कोरोना आया है we are learning that we have to do meditation, we have to do yoga in a natural environment, we are creating the organic garden in our or the kitchen garden or in our homes. The number of things are going on. क्यों, जब तक कोई पैंडेमिक नहीं आएगा तब तक हम प्लान नहीं कर सकते क्या? We have to work on that, and in at that time these things are available. The essential teachings were in the subjects like the languages, science, mathematics through the group discussion and the self learning. आज की डेट में होता है ये सारी चीजें, ऐसा नहीं है कि आज की डेट में ग्रुप डिस्कशंस और द ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशंस और द प्रेजेंटेशंस इज नॉट देयर. But try to find it out the gap in this. Means हमारे पेरेंट्स जब स्कूल जाते थे तब आपने देखा होगा वहां पर सिर्फ टीचिंग्स पे फोकस किया जाता था, बट द बेस इज सो स्ट्रॉन्ग. उनका एकेडमिक काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग, जितना भी पढ़ा उन्होंने दैट वाज वेरी मच स्ट्रॉन्ग. Nowadays we are running behind the competitions, extracurricular activities are there, but the education base is it is not there. So we have to find it out, and the Gurukul system is the best example of the balance between the other co-curricular activities, healthy activities such as a yoga, meditation, mantras and means the religiously attachment or the Hinduism and the other जो अभी हमारा धर्म है उसे follow करना, the positivity, the peace of mind, the calmness, the physically or as well as the mentally strength would be learned from there. It was also mandatory to do daily chores on our own with a motive to impart practical skills in them. Everything in our during the corona pandemic we have learned the every means खाने से लेकर के हमारी जो भी लाइफस्टाइल एट दैट टाइम वी आई हैव टू फॉलो, एवरीथिंग हैज अ साइंटिफिक रीजंस टू डू दैट. और उसकी वजह से हमारे यहाँ उस समय पे जो था लाइफ एजेस काफ़ी ज़्यादा होती थी और बीमारियाँ नहीं होती थी. और आज की डेट में हम सब उसको भूल गए हैं और फिर से दोबारा से अब हम पैसा दे देकर उसे सीख रहे हैं एंड वी आर inculcating that kind of a lifestyle. So all these helped in a personality development and increase their confidence, sense of discipline, intellect and mindfulness, which is necessary even today to face the worlds that lay ahead. So do we need actually the Gurukul system? No, we actually didn't need whole the Gurukul system, because at that time the parents are in a dilemma which kind of a course or what type of a subject has to be covered during that course. उसमें ये पता नहीं चलता था कि आपको टीचर क्या पढ़ाने वाला है. But certain things we can follow from or taken from the Gurukul system, like the environment, the things, the pattern of study. वहाँ पर क्या होता था कि शिष्यों को जो है छोड़ दिया जाता था कि भाई आप जाइए, इवन मतलब उन्होंने टेक्सचुअल नॉलेज लिया हुआ है, देन उनको प्रैक्टिकल उसको इमीडिएटली इम्प्लीमेंट करना होता था. दे हैव टू फाइंड इट आउट द सॉल्यूशंस देयर ओन. ऐसा नहीं था तो गुरु ने उन्हें छोड़ दिया है. गुरु वाज देयर बट दे वाज behind. The students cannot see them, वो देख नहीं पाते थे, but the Sishyas are able to find it out each and every solutions of the practical and uncertain problem. The basic thing is that we can learn from there. The modern infrastructure we didn't has to be run behind the modern infrastructures only. We have to find the balance between the academic and the extracurricular activities. Holistic way of a teaching should be there. Interest should be there, the value should be there in our education system, and of course the teacher and student relationship should be there to develop the we can say the bond, so that the teacher मीन्स स्टूडेंट को इतना भरोसा होना चाहिए टीचर के कि टीचर ने यदि बोला है कि यहाँ से कूद जाओ तो डेफिनेटली उसका कुछ रीजन होगा, मे बी वो आपको बचाना चाह रहे होंगे. तो ये ट्रस्ट और जो एक मर्यादा बोलते हैं वो आज की डेट में इतनी नहीं देखने में मिलती है. इट शुड बी लाइक दैट. The conclusion for considering the Gurukula system in Indian education system is just to assist the children in understanding the concept of a balanced life. And this very ideology of a balance should be taught to the kids from a young age, so that they make informed decisions about work, food, exercise, and the way they wish to live their life. As the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, thinking should become your capital asset, no matter whatever ups and downs you come across in your life. As we come into the current world, because as I have told you, what can be the thinking aspect, how should we have to develop slowly the children, so that they can be thinking, they have the brainstorming capability, and they cannot stressed out with the problems available in front of them. They just take it as it's a normal situation, and we have to think it out, and we have the solution. If the problems comes, that definitely come with the solution. Just we have to patiently found it out. Like the Honda and the Apple, that are the very renowned company, they are working as because they have to gather the market share. So they have to work on the new thinking, new possibility. The tagline carried by the Honda and the Apple, the think different. Now, with this, I am ending here. But at last, I have a question for you. As actually, I just have one small video also, but the time has not allowed me to share that video. I just summarized that video. Actually, I have seen in a video that the future of a retail stores. Means the future में होने वाला क्या है? The retail store should not be the people or the customer cannot be come into contacted with the any person. They have the card and they just entered, means that there are the sensor. They just enter clicking, जैसे हम metros में enter करते हैं, that you have to enter in that shop and you just take it out the products whatever you want, and the sensors are there. The CCTVs are not there because it is related to the privacies. So the sensors are there, and as soon you put it, you take the product, the automatically the price of that product is cutted by your wallet. जैसे कि हमारा Paytm, Google Pay and whatever the things we are using for payment system, we have the wallet. So at that time the card wallet is there, and the automatically that has distracted from the your wallet system. Fine, and you come across after shopping or taking the products and came outside of the stores. This is the future of retail. Okay, fine. As the digitalization, ये मैंने आपको आप समझ लीजिए, मैंने आपको एक केस बता दिया है. अब क्वेश्चन है मेरा, as digitalization is on its a high level, means everywhere everything will be done with the use of our digital gadgets. So have you think about what about the employment, what we given to society or our future generation as a security? Please think it. Please think it. What can be the solution? What? We have to think it. Yes, sir.
Before Shweta, ma'am, excellent, very good. Before Shweta, ma'am, finally conclude and tell our word the way she speaks so beautifully, elegantly. So let me, give answer for the question what you had about thinking. The technology does not take away the employment. Let me also tell you that. The question is technology doesn't. No, what I request you to do it, once you go back, get into YouTube. We have the Formula One racing all over the world. And in the 50s, when they go over the track, which is not like 400-meter track, they go on to a few kilometers track, come back, undulating track and all that stuff. And the change of tire is part and parcel of the race. They don't give you separate time to change the tire because they're proving technology and a lot of other stuff. In 50s, there used to be 4 people, driver, and 3 additional people were allowed to change 4 tires. And the time taken used to be 3.5 minutes, and maximum 4 minutes. Today, there are 24 people work to change tires on the car, and time is 3.86 seconds. So it's not the employability which is get taken away. Technology is making things, miniaturization. Look at any technology. We had the valves, and we have the ICs, and now we coming up with the smaller stuff and all that. Look at the kind of technology we had, the big radios and the transistors, and everything is in a small mobile. Not only that, audio. We have the cameras, we have the internet, we have the desktop, we have everything. Miniaturization is what the outcome of a technology, and it's no way is going to take out the employment from the earth. It is that we are not able to understand how this can be utilized for inclusiveness. That is what people say. You got to include the rural areas through digitization. It adds value. My personal take is it will not take away the employment. That is my personal view.
Actually, sir, this is question for I have taken for the student. They have to think about that. Actually, but you have
since ma'am you placed it,
so well, because I need this answer actually. That's why I put it this question, because student has to thought. The technologies come to sort it out the things, to give the simplicity of work culture, but they didn't take the skill or talent the person have. So the person have to work on the talented, or the skills has to be generated. They have to think about that, what kind of a startup should be there, what kind of a job. Because nowadays I'm teaching in a Sagar college, and the students are saying that ma'am corona aa gaya, jobs nahi mil rahi hai, what we have to do, हमारा तो ईयर ही खराब हो गया. No, this is not the kind of thing. Jobs ऐसे थोड़ी जाती है. Jobs और कंपनी नहीं बंद होने वाली है. You have to work on the skills.
Very good question for the students. Since it was a part and parcel of the flow for the audience, so I took it. We are a student.
Yeah, definitely, sure, sir.
We are a student too. So that is why I thought I must put it right in case some students are listening to it.
So thank you for giving
your presentation was excellent. Shweta ma'am will, I'm sure, is going to say those words.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So actually, when you are talking about retail, so nobody can stop me, because retail has been my See, the thing is that I joined retail industry in 2002, just after having completed my MBA. So when I joined retail industry, people said कि अभी ये परचून की दुकान पे जाएगा क्या? So they did not know about organized retailing. So the organized retailing, it started way back in 96 onwards, when it started with Nanj, right? So the first outlet was started with Nanj, with a grocery store, and the next one came as a Shoppers Stop in Khelgaon, Marg, in New Delhi, right? That was by Ansal Plaza, right? After that came this Sabka Bazaar, the home stores India Limited, and I was amongst 15 odd candidates selected from all across India for this as a management trainee come. So after 6 months I was put as assistant manager in one of the super market of Sabka Bazaar, right? That was venture by Abdullah Group, and Mr. Arif Sheikh was the president of the group. He was then the vice president with Walmart, right? So I tell you, retail industry may, the service, it is a service industry, right? Where the human interface is of much importance. See, I have sold, suppose I have seen a walk-in who just came browsing, the store, and I have sold them, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 of basket size, right? I have sold, those items which were, supposed to be expired, right? So whenever I was given a target of rupees 100, I used to make it 150. So that was the kind of things I used to do. I used to go for, even as a manager, I used to go for 1 or 2 home deliveries into the, so that I could have a direct connection with the customers. So actually, retail industry is, it is completely human oriented, and it should have human interface, right? And I'm telling you, TK technology will come, these dispensers will come and all, but I'm telling you, only those will survive and will excel where there is a bond between the customer and the retail outlet, and they will excel, so that is there. So it was a very good presentation, Neha ma'am, and absolutely wonderful. So thank you very much. And from Armina ma'am also, it was very good. Dr. K. Sasikumar and Vanshika ma'am, you are always there, but we can't hear you. So Aishwarya ma'am, it was wonderful. Sanjay sir,
Thank you
it
so
was
much.
wonderful.
Thank
Pleasure,
you.
ma'am. Over
Congratulations to all
over-
speakers and organizing team, to moderator, to Dr. Sunil Mugir, to Mr. Sanjay. I tell you, I grew up with movie, Indian movie and music movie, The Chain of Memories, My Friend Elephants, A Flower and Two Gardens. I know Nargita, Salman Khan, and others. Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be with you today in this wonderful event. I feel like in a family. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm honored.
Shweta ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. I really enjoyed your presentation. And I, in fact, noted down some things that you said. Nurturing the creativity, learning to use failure, considering every idea, widening the knowledge base, recognizing innovation. And I also love the fact that you brought in Apple and Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Yeah.
Hyundai.
Right. And I just remembered how Apple, by thinking differently, wiped out the monopoly of the Walkman. If we remember, the Walkman monopolized the entire music industry during straight 2 decades. It was complete 80s and complete 90s, and Walkman was the ruler. And Apple, that music in the pocket thing with Steve Jobs released one day, and it just wiped away the Walkman empire. So think differently definitely does. And thank you so much for covering so many topics, so many ideas. Everything was just interrelated, and I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to present my thoughts or opinion. And a special thanks to, of course, Sudhakar sir, who have invited me and give the chance to speak in front of all the dignitaries. And thanks for inviting me.
Sir, can we wind up the session for the day now?
Yeah, so Brigadier Saab, with your permission.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, okay. It was a wonderful interaction, such a learning experience, enriching experience. Yeah, and the time is good to wind it up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone. It was great to be with all of you.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
रिकॉर्डिंग को स्टॉप कर दूं सर।